Ready na mo? 49. Magsugod ako. Nanay, maka-record. Okay, so nanay from C1, C2, C3, no? Okay, so kanit lang ako sa butang haasan pa magkuan. Okay, kanit lang. Standby. Okay, so good morning once again. Before ta magsugod, I noticed nakalimtan din ako og discuss ang usa ka topic. So, students, this goes for C1 kanang kuan ha. Wala ko ka-discuss about renin sa inyo ha no sa C1. Kaya lang ha. Anyone? Naka-discuss ko si taga C1. Nahuman ko renin wala. Renin na with a double N ha. Okay, so not yet daw. So, students, renin students is commonly created by young animals. So, it is found in the stomach of calves. So, sa ubang section, ibalik na niya, pero ako lang ikuha ngayon. C1 na miss ko na topic. Okay, so, renin students is created by certain cells in the stomach of young animals. Common reason, it's also only in young animals. Although in older animals, it's not really absent, but it's in a diminished capacity. Okay? Renin students is very common because it is the same substance that we use to make cheese. Cheese ba? Kanang cheese. Cheese na cheese. Okay? So the function of renin students is that it is an enzyme that curdles the milk in the stomach of young animals. Meaning, once the young animal consumes milk, though their stomachs will release renin to allow kanang curdling of the proteins. Without those proteins, dili ka digest ang animal og milk protein. Excuse me sa 1 minute. So ayaw mo kalimutan na students ha, that mga na siyang same function sa renin. Okay, so it is also the enzyme added for artificial creation of kanang cheese. So in order to make cheese, in order to curdle the milk, uh, you need to add renin to the cheese. Okay, once you add renin to the cheese, students, the milk will divide into two things. One, it will create the solid protein called casein. I think you're familiar with casein, kanang casein na mga kuan. Then secondly, it will also become the whey protein. So kanang whey protein, I think familiar mo sa mga bodybuilder, right? They use whey protein from cheese production. They remove the water and mga whey protein yung makita kanang mga powder na ginainom sa mga bodybuilder. The separation of those two proteins is possible because of the presence of renin, which is an enzyme commonly found in the stomach of young animals. Okay? Any questions on renin? Wala ra? Anyone? Wala. Okay. Wala na itaw. Yes. Go, Miss Gabuya.
Good morning, Doc. I just wanted to ask lang, Jude, like, Is renin the only enzyme ba na like is it the only one that is able to curdle the milk inside the stomach sa mga young animals? And so if siya ra jud usa, then if the young animal has like a problem sa renin, then it's really a big problem then, if ever.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Mukha na siya. Kanang mamatay na siya na animal. Yeah, actually daghan og like I said, it's an enzyme. So it's needed normally without an enzyme, those chemical reactions can occur but at a slower pace, ha? Okay? So not necessarily na mamatay not necessarily curdlation of the milk will not happen, but it will happen at a slower pace in the absence of that enzyme. Okay? Miss Gabuya? Okay. So yes, very important that you should take note of that. Okay? So kana siyang renin. By the way don't mistake it with the renin sa kidney ha. Kidney from the renin is renin. Renin from the stomach is rennin. So double N ang sa stomach, ang sa kidney is only one N. Okay? Did you follow?
yes,
Appropriate.
though.
Okay, sige, sige. Okay, so now let us go to guys, diri ta commonly nagsugod sa tanang section. So diri na lang ta magsugod ha. Although di balik ni for C4, sige na lang good. C3 dai C3. So ato na lang ni ko ano kay ubang section wala pa makaabot diri ha. So pepsin is secreted by the gastric chief cells in an inactive form and is subsequently activated in the stomach lumen. Pepsin usually describes as a single compound but is actually a family of protein digesting enzyme. So students, the chief cells actually create pepsin in an inactive form. Mostly students, makakita mo when it comes to digestive enzymes, they usually are released in an inactive form. You know why? Most of them, actually, they're collectively known as zymogens. So most enzymes that are released in active form are called zymogens. Later on, when we reach the stomach and the small intestines, there are more zymogens that you will encounter. But a thought is that they are usually inactivated form because of their proteolytic nature. Because most of these enzymes are proteolytic, meaning they break down the protein and most of your cells are also made up of protein, it is beneficial for the cell to release them in active form. Because if they were to release it in their active form, there is a chance that this enzyme will turn on the cell that created it. So mamatay ang cell if they become active readily when they are readily released. That is why most of them are in active form or in the form they are called zymogens. Okay? So they are formed in the chief cells as inactive pro-enzymes called pepsinogens. So pepsinogens are stored in the chief cells as granules until secreted into the lumen of the gastric glands. After secretion, pepsinogens are exposed to the acid content of the stomach, resulting in the cleavage of a small portion of the protein. So, since there is cleavage, meaning it is a catalytic reaction. Okay, so catalytic reaction ha. So, kanang mo na siya ang common ana, which leads to activation of the enzyme. Any questions so far? Wala ra. So let us continue. So parietal cells are secreted by the actions of acetylcholine, gastrin, and histamine. Gastric secretion is stimulated by anticipation of eating. That is why students, if you see food, kana maglinya mo sa kantin, usually magdagok na yung tiyan or your stomach will do that sound because your enteric system, your stomach is already activated. There is already release of acetylcholine, gastrin, and histamine, or the big three. When still, even if stomach, their food has not no contents yet, but the anticipation of eating actually starts the release of these hormones. No, substances, the substances. Okay? Gastric acid secretion is stimulated by the anticipation of eating and the presence of undigested food in the stomach. When an animal anticipates eating, the parasympathetic vagal impulses stimulate cells in the enteric nervous system. So when we talk about kuan, there's always the kuan of the enteric nervous system, which in turn releases acetylcholine into the vicinity of the G cells and parietal cells. So kuan, when we're talking about the G cells, they are the one responsible for the creation of unsa may gina-create sa G cells gani?
Gastrin.
Very good. Gastrin ha, so they create gastrin. Okay? And parietal cells as well, they create the hydrochloric acid. These secretory cells have ACH receptors on their surface and responds to secreting gastrin and HCl respectively. Gastrin circulates in the bloodstream and eventually finds its way to the parietal cells. Like I said, gastrin does not take a direct route. Instead, it is released by your G cell and circulates around the bloodstream before it reaches its target parietal cells, both of which will stimulate the production of your enteric release of hydrochloric acid. Okay? So also remember students now, there is no walay effect ang epinephrine for the GIT, meaning there are no adrenergic receptors for the GIT. Instead, the the only receptor for the autonomic nervous system is in the form of your kanang acetylcholine receptors, which is part of your parasympathetic or muscarinic na system. Okay? Secondly, histamine plays a role as an amplifying substance in the gastric secretions. Parietal cells have surface receptors or for gastrin, ACH, and histamine. But it is actually histamine that plays a very significant role in amplifying the release of gastric acid. That is why students, they actually created a specific type of kanang antacid or the one that reduces the secretion of gastric acid via the blocking of your H2 receptor. Okay, so di ba kadungog mo H2 receptor, famotidine, cimetidine, ranitidine, they are commonly decrease the amount of acid secretions in the stomach by blocking the H2 receptor. Okay, so any questions so far? So let's continue. By the way, histamine is commonly secreted by the mast cells and endochromaffin cells in the parietal mucosa. Okay? Next. Next, vomiting is a complex reflex. So students, this is a summation of the vomiting reflex. So I already discussed this, so you just go on. It's just a summation. Okay? So nalay na adi ha, expansion of the chest cavity. So expansion of the chest cavity while the glottis remains closed. This action lowers intrathoracic pressure and thus pressure in the body of the esophagus. So later na lang, it's quite understandable. Like I said, the vomitus needs to go from from the stomach. So the chest cavity has to have a closed glottis with a lower intrathoracic pressure so that para mugawas ang vomitus into the mouth. Okay? And not into the respiratory system. Okay, remember, during vomiting, the abdominal musculatures are actually positive in pressure. So kung dili mo close imong glottis and negative ang pressure sa imong respiratory system or chest cavity, there is a chance that the vomitus or the thing that is about to be expelled will go into your lungs instead. That is why should be emphasized that the glottis should be closed during vomiting. Okay? So I already discussed the other things there is. So I think okay, sabot naman tayo mo ato. If you have any questions, please ask, ha? So students, the hormones cholecystokinin, gastric inhibitory peptide, and secretin inhibit hydrochloric acid. So students, this is what I told you. If there are three hormones that promote acid buildup or gastric acid buildup. There are also three hormones that promote what you call this inhibition of the gastric juices. So these hormones are your cholecystokinin, your gastric inhibitory peptide, and your secretin. So these three hormones are secreted when there is too much hydrochloric acid. Okay? These hormones are commonly released in the duodenal epithelium. So, when you think about it, unsa man ang iyahang pathway? So, what is the role of the duodenum in balancing the pH of the body? Unsa may kuan? Unsa may effect sa duodenum ani na stage? Anyone? So students, the duodenum acts as both an effector and a is also a receptor and an effector. Okay? And normally the integrating center for this is actually in the gut brain. So sa gut brain na ni siya i-process. So your body, the duodenum will pick up the presence of food. And once na pick up na nila ang presence of food, they would inhibit the creation of gastric juices by releasing your cholecystokinin, gastric inhibitory peptide, and your secretin, so that the contents of your chyme will not be that acidic anymore. Okay? Kay kuya sa student, if your small intestine encounters a great decrease in pH, it could damage the small intestine. Remember students, the what you call this, the small intestine does not possess the surface mucous cells and the neck cells. Kana silang duha na mo produce og mucus that protects it from the kanang acidity of the stomach. So ang tendency na if there is acidity of your small intestine, there is a chance that you would suffer something called a peptic ulcer or magasgas ang imuhang small intestine because of your kanang acidic stomach. Okay? Any questions so far? Wala ra. Okay, excuse me. So the pH of gastric juice in mammals can be 2 or less. The low pH is protective in that most foreign microbes ingests with food cannot survive such an acidic environment. Okay, so dili kayo mo survive ang bacteria when it comes in acidic environment. Okay, so the protective action of your stomach actually inhibits you from getting food poisoning because the pH of the stomach is part of your innate immune system. Okay? The low pH inhibit hydrochloric acid secretion to prevent from becoming too acidic as well. Okay, so normally students, mas acidic ang mga carnivorous na mga animals when it comes to their pH. Okay, so kita ang kay we only have at least 1 to 2 mo dive na atong stomach to around pH of 1 or 2. Okay? So pepsinogen in an active form enzyme and component of gastric juices is activated by the low pH. Like I said, you need the low pH in order to activate the kanang enzymes that you are kanang to activate pepsinogen. That is why most Pepsi is acidic na atong Pepsi ginainom ha, so that the pepsinogen will become pepsin. The low pH also promotes the activity of pepsin because of the most favorable pH for its proteolytic activity. Like I said previously, the main nutrient that is processed in the stomach comes in the form of protein. So when you say chemical digestion of what major nutrient, so when it comes to the stomach, we're talking about kanang proteins. Okay? So let's continue. A layer of mucus covers the epithelial lining of the stomach and protects the epithelium from the low pH of the gastric fluids. Like I said, what are the two cells that create mucus in the stomach? Anyone? Anyone? Ayaw mo shy. Go, Miss Gabuya.
Katong surface mucous cells o katong neck cells ba to, Doc?
Very good. Surface mucous cells and the neck cells. Okay? Although when it comes to protection, Jude, majority of them is created by your kanang surface mucous cells. Okay? Although ang neck cells back up lang na siya, but still, it is still significant that these two structures create the kanang majority of the kanang mucus needed to protect the gastric the stomach. Okay, mucus secretion is stimulated by the presence of a substance called prostaglandin. So students, yun ang hinumduman when it comes to NSAIDs. O sa pasabot sa NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, most of them will prolonged use of NSAIDs would lead to inhibition of your COX-1 or your cyclohexogenase. Without cyclohexogenase type 1, your arachidonic acid will not create the specific type of prostaglandin that will inhibit or will create the mucus needed to protect the stomach. That is why prolonged use of something wrong sa connection? Miss Gabuya, nakadungog ra ka nako?
Yes, Doc. Nakadungog ra.
Naunsa ni sipin? Okay, sige. Palihog lang kong check sa imuhang end, Miss Kuan, ha? Okay. Kuan, okay Roy, ayaw kakuan. Kung maputol ko, na ko ha, kay para makakuan sa ko. Okay? Like I said, once gani, there is prolonged use of NSAIDs, a common denomination sa ilang problems is kanang gastric ulceration. Ha? So, gastric ulceration. So, Doc, unsa may signs of gastric ulceration? Of course, the animal will have pain, abdominal pain. Secondly, common sa mga dogs, musuka sila na early in the morning or before sila mukaon, musuka na sila. Usually, kanang acidic na sila. And worst case scenario, students, the worst case scenario when it comes to gastric ulcers is kanang gitawag nila og melena. Do you know what melena is? Dili na tao ha? Sigmoingon mo kailan na ni Doc Phil? Dili. When we're talking about melena, the ulceration becomes so great that there is already bleeding in your stomach. Okay? Once the stomach starts to bleed in the lumen or in its contents, the blood will become partially digested. That is why melena is described as black and tarry stool. What's that to? Black and tarry stool because the blood that was released from the ulcer becomes digested by your stomach. And once that happens, students, i-release niya, mahimo siyang black and tarry. Okay, any questions so far? Wala rin questions so far? So, can we... None. Okay, let's continue. So, like I said, I already discussed this. Renin is an enzyme in the gastric juice in the abomasum of young ruminants. Its function is to coagulate milk and reduce its rate of passageway through the gastrointestinal tract. Another thing is that intrinsic factor, a carrier protein for vitamin B12, binds to the vitamin and the resultant B complex releases through the tract of the to the ileum, which absorbs the vitamin B12. So when I ask you what area of the small intestine is B12 absorbed, sa yung answer.
Ilium, Doc.
Ha?
Ilium, Doc.
Ileum ha, dili stomach ha. The stomach is only responsible for the creation of vitamin B, for the synthesis of intrinsic factor needed for that, so that your vitamin B12 can be absorbed. Okay, but the actual absorption happens in the ileum of the animal in question. Okay, so kuha na, pagbantay mo na, kasi very common na siya na question sa board, mo na akong gibutang, the relationship of the stomach and vitamin B12 kanang absorption. Okay? So makakita mo na, especially in dogs that suffer from meaning kadungog na mo gastrectomy or giresection ang stomach, there is a chance that these animals will suffer vitamin B12 deficiency because of the lack of kanang gikuha naman ilang stomach or gikuhaan ang ilang stomach, so there will be no release of kanang intrinsic factor. In any type of drug or medication or condition that inhibits or hampers the creation of intrinsic factor will result in the animal unable to absorb vitamin B12. So students, what's the effect of decreased vitamin B12 absorption? Is it important? Inana ka important ang vitamin B12? Nilike lang mo.
Yes, Doc.
It's a Oy, ako question, unsa ang condition? Unsa may condition?
Anemia?
Unsa man na anemia? Naga magklase sa anemia. La. So students, it's vitamin B12 or your megaloblastic anemia, because you need the vitamin B12 to regulate the size of the kanang cell membrane of your RBC. Without that vitamin B12, your RBC will become something called megaloblastic, meaning mudako siya pag-ayo, pero dili siya effective mo carry og hemoglobin. So that is what you call your megaloblastic anemia. Commonly a sign of vitamin B12 and folic acid deficiency. Also students, frequent alcoholism will also sugsigag inom, it will also inhibit the intrinsic factor. That is why most pregnant women are advised not to drink alcohol, because it would lead to malabsorption of vitamin B12. And aside from megaloblastic anemia, for pregnant animals, they need the vitamin B12 to develop the neural tube. Meaning, ang neural tube nimo, in order to be healthy in development, will need vitamin B12. Okay? Did you follow? So, kung inom ka, no vitamin B12, unfortunately, there will be cognitive problems with your baby. Okay? So, no amount of alcohol is safe for a pregnant mother. Okay? So, same as with animals. Ha? Any questions so far? Next, gastric motility. Gastric movements is a mix with the ingesta with gastric juice continue mechanical digestion to liquefy the digesta. So, and pass the digesta into the duodenum. So, the liquefaction of digesta will create or turn that bolus into chyme. That chyme, the chyme is liquid with some solid parts, so semi-solid, will go into the duodenum at a controlled rate. If the contents goes into the duodenum in an uncontrolled rate, there is a chance that it will become kanang kuan. there's a chance that what you call this? It will overwhelm the small intestine. Okay? The stomach regularly produces peristaltic contractions beginning in the region of the cardia and increasing in force as they travel over the stomach to the pyloric antrum. This mixes and grind the food and force some of it through the pyloric sphincter into the duodenum. However, much of the food is held back to allow for more mixing and grinding. So, like I said, you have to emphasize the grinding action of the stomach because it breaks down all the contents into its smaller na mga kanang parts. The ingesta is forced through the pyloric sphincter, termed as chyme, and is a mushy, semi-solid mixture of food, water, and gastric juices. So, like I said, chyme is semi-solid. The stomach of a carnivore empties within a few hours, usually before the next meal. Other animals require many hours to empty the stomach. Both the horse and the pig requires a full day's fast or 24 hours to empty a full stomach. The stomach of a nursing foal empties slowly, but in an adult pony, liquid passes from the stomach to the cecum in 2 hours. In addition to the typical pattern of stomach contractions, when food is present, waves of peristaltic contractions may occur over the stomach as a slight ripple. These are produced by the spontaneous depolarization, which sometimes induce action potentials in the smooth muscles. These begin in the cardiac region, and the waves of the membrane depolarization are termed as gastric slow waves. Okay, so later, tudloan ako mo kanang when it comes to the peristalsis. Okay? So, usually students in most carnivorous animals usually emptied their squan in for a few hours. That is why unsa may significance ana sa vet med, guys. So what, Doc Phil, if few hours ang carnivore? So unsa man inyong inyong say ana? Anyone? Unsa may significance ana in vet med?
Kanang inag surgery, Doc.
Oh, very good. Egg surgery. So, dapat ang dogs should be kuan for 8 hours. Ang goats, on the other hand, if kinahanglan dyan, pero it's not recommended, ha? Pa-fastingon dyan na sila for longer than 8 hours when trying to perform surgery on them. Okay, there is a chance that they would get aspiration pneumonia if you don't empty the stomach during surgery. Secondly, if you also empty the stomach too much, there's also a risk for ruminal acidosis. That is why it is not recommended for ruminants to be sedated during surgery. So as much as possible, magbarog na sila. You can use a L-block lang in order to create the required anesthesia for them. Okay, so i-note lang na ninyo, ha? Okay? Any questions?
None, Doc.
Any questions on the stomach, students?
None so far, Doc.
None so far, okay? So, maabot na. Kung saan mo na? Nasuko mo na si Venice. Miss Venice, na kay question?
Wala, Doc.
I-thumbs down lagi ko.
Wala na question, Doc.
Okay. So, next is the intestines, okay? So, the intestines are the longest segment of your kanang stomach. So, what it lacks in size, it makes up in length. Okay, so unlike your stomach, your small intestine cannot store for prolonged periods of time, especially the small intestine. They cannot absorb contents into their they cannot store contents in their lumen. So they have to be long in order to promote absorption. Okay? Responsible for the final digestion of foods and their absorption. So usually when it comes to small intestines, all the digestive process needs to happen in the small intestine so that they could be absorbed in the same area. Okay? The small intestines are connected and serves as an exit point to the contents of the biliary tree. Who could tell me what are the parts of the biliary tree? Mao na, mukaon og liso. Nahimo ng tree sa sud. Mo ng biliary tree? Is that correct? If you eat seeds, it will grow into a tree inside your stomach. Is that your biliary tree? Joke, ha? Dili ha? So your biliary tree is called a biliary tree because it is a network of passageway that arborize. Muna sa siyang tree tanawon. It arborize into the different accessory organs. Okay? And they empty their contents into the duodenum. Okay? So asa mag-empty ang biliary tree? Through the duodenum. So your hepatic duct, your pancreatic duct, even parts of your splenic duct will go into they will combine together into the kanang ampulla of Vater. Dili Vader ha, Vater, Vater. So they will go into the ampulla of Vater, and once ganing wato sila sa ampulla of Vater, they would release their contents into the duodenum. And the one controlling the release of the biliary tree is called your sphincter of OD. Okay? Sphincter of OD ha. So, mo na sila ma-release ang contents into the small intestine. Okay? There, they act as emulsifiers of bile. They act as final phase of digestion through the pancreatic juices. Okay. Any questions so far? Wala na question? So if wala na question, let's continue. So the small intestines are the primary site of chemical digestion and absorption of nutrients. The exocrine secretions of the pancreas contain most of the enzymes for chemical digestion in the lumen of the small intestine. But the epithelial cells that line the small intestine also have their cell membranes enzymes that participate in the final steps of chemical digestion. The primary digestive function of the liver is to provide bile salts which facilitate to the enzymatic digestion. Okay? So students, di ba, remember what I said that your GIT is divided into two parts. The biliary tree or the accessory organs that connect through the biliary tree and the alimentary tract. So it's very important that we should because a lot of the chemical digestion that happens requires the support of your accessory organs in the form of your liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and even your spleen in order to break down certain substances into its component parts so that they could take part in the chemical digestion happening in the small intestine. Okay, so don't worry, later on we will discuss more of that. So first is we will discuss the exocrine pancreas. Doc, nga no exocrine man, Doc? What's the opposite of the exocrine pancreas, students? What's the opposite of the exocrine pancreas? Nga no exocrine ratong i-discuss dire.
Endocrine, Doc.
Very good. That is called your endocrine kanang pancreas. But we will discuss more of that together with Dr. Mon sa inyong endocrinology. Mostly sa ako is exocrine pancreas. Okay, so I'll be discussing more of the exocrine part instead of the endocrine part. Okay, but don't worry, we'll still touch up on it a little bit, but not so much as kana endocrinology that we will discuss the hormones, how the hormones act, the chemical composition. I will not delve into that lang ha. But we'll focus on the exocrine pancreas. Okay? So when we're talking about exocrine cells, what are they called? What's another name for an exocrine cell?
Acinar?
Okay, very good, Miss Tora ha. That is your acinar cells. Dili asnar ha? Not asnar, acinar cells. Okay? So your acinar cells is not a joke. Usually masayop may ang kuan ano. Ngayon ibutang sa una basing naratol siya ang ibutang asnar cells. No, these are acinar cells. Okay? So kuan ha, take note of that ha, common misnomer. Okay? So acinar cells are exocrine in nature because they release their contents into a duct. Another acinar cells that we discussed earlier was the salivary glands. So the salivary glands will release their contents into the kanang salivary ducts. While the pancreas, the acinar cells of the pancreas will release their contents into the pancreatic duct. Okay, so later on you will know what are those substances created by the acinar pancreas. Okay. So pancreatic exocrine secretions primarily consist of a variety of digestive enzymes and sodium bicarbonate. Okay? So usually if the stomach releases an acidic content, the pancreas releases a basic content. Okay? So Doc, it's safe to say Doc na ang imong pancreas kay content creator. Get it? Nakakawan mo? So, pancreatic acinar cells secrete the enzyme and cells that line the ducts in the pancreas secrete the sodium bicarbonate. These ducts empty into one or two pancreatic ducts which empty into the duodenum. Okay, so when I say the pancreatic acinar cells, they will release substances that will create the kanang basic na mga substances. The sodium bicarbonate raises to an acceptable pH. The chyme entering from the stomach, the small intestine epithelium is not protected from acidic solution. So students, like I said, the chyme is commonly acidic because it comes from the stomach. Unfortunately, your small intestinal epithelium is not protected from acidic solution. That is why once the small intestine detects an acidic environment, it does two things. One, it could reduce the pH of the stomach or increase the pH of the stomach by inhibiting the creation of hydrochloric acid. Secondly, on its contents, it could open the ampulla of Vater. What's that? It could release the ampulla of Vater. Or it could contract the ampulla of Vater, releasing bile and kanang digestive juices into the chyme to make sure that that chyme becomes basic. That is why students, for severe one side of hyperacidity in dogs is usually makabantay mo ana, there is bile tinge na kanang vomitus. Ano to? When there is hyperacidity in dogs, there is a bile tinge na vomitus because it is the coping mechanism of the body in order to diffuse or to increase the pH of the chyme. Once the dog vomits, there is already contents of the small intestine. So that is a sign that maybe the stomach of the animal is very acidic na. Okay? Especially if dili mo kaon ang animal. Okay? Any questions so far? Any questions? Wala ra?
None, Doc.
Ay,
Okay.
Doc, sorry, Doc.
Go.
Ang mo-open sa ampulla of water kay ang small intestine, Doc. Pa-clarify lang ko, Doc. Okay, thank you, Doc.
Open sa small ampulla of water later on is the small intestine. It has something to do with the cholecystokinin. Okay?
Thank you, Doc.
Sige, so later on, ato na ikaw na. So, ang open sa ampulla of water, it will always be the small intestine because the ampulla of water, the opening is in the sphincter of OD, the opening is in the kanang small intestine. So students, if I were to ask you, what type of muscle lines the sphincter of OD? What type of muscle is that? What type of muscle lines the sphincter of OD?
Smooth, Doc.
Yes, very good. Smooth gyapon na siya, ha? Because you cannot control your sphincter of OD. You can't tell your sphincter of OD, please contract. No, you can't control that. So, it is considered smooth muscle. Okay? So, it is still a sphincter. It is lined with muscles. So, it is still a smooth muscle. Okay? So, let's continue. So another one of the few hormones that are found in your small intestine or created by your small intestine is the trypsin and the chymotrypsin. So later on, don't worry, we will discuss each and every one of these enzymes and we will link to where they come from, what activates them, and how they are, what cell produces them. Okay? So, similar to pepsin in the stomach, these are secreted as inactive precursors called trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. Trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme called enterokinase. Okay, so don't worry, later we will describe that, ha? So, for the sake of argument, or for the sake of understanding, trypsinogen and chymotrypsin are considered zymogens because they're released by the cell that creates them in their inactive form. Okay? And they're only activated by the enzyme enterokinase. So to, they are called by their enzyme enterokinase. So later we will know where this where these enzymes come from. So pancreatic proteolytic enzyme include trypsin and chymotrypsin. Similar to pepsin in the stomach, these are secreted as inactive precursors called trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. Trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme enterokinase, a component of the luminal membranes of the small intestine. So students, the enterokinase is created by the lumen of your small intestine. So once the trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen come in contact with the lumen of your small intestine, there is the release of a compound called enterokinase which activates them into their active form. Okay, so trypsin can activate chymotrypsinogen and more trypsinogen. The ultimate product of protein digestions are your amino acids. But the pancreatic proteolytic enzyme may stop digestion when the peptide reach a length of 2 or more amino acid. So students, it is the role of your small intestine to break down the from the food you eat, you chew on the protein. Once you chew on the protein, it is covered in amino acid. It is covered in pancreatic, kanang gastric secretions. That gastric secretions will start to break down the protein in two ways. One, into smaller pieces, and two, into their polypeptides. Once the polypeptides are created and they're small enough to pass through a chyme, they are released into the small intestines. In the small intestine, students, there are luminal cells in the small intestine that release your kanang enterokinase, which activates the trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen into their kanang active form, which breaks down the kuan into dipeptides. Okay? So, when the peptides reach a length of 2 or more amino acid, if this occurs, peptidase is then created. Okay? So, the final enzyme that acts on protein is something called peptidase. This peptidase will break down the remaining dipeptides, meaning the amino acids that are composed of 2 amino acid strands, into their simple amino acid. Okay, and the peptidase are still associated with your enterocyte cell membranes, can complete hydrolysis of the peptides into their individual amino acids. Okay, so once they become individual amino acids, they're already absorbed. Any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions?
None, Doc.
So, kasabot na mo ha, from, let's just say, pork chop. The pork chop will be broken down by your teeth. And when it reaches the stomach, there is both chemical and physical digestion. The chemical will break down the larger proteins into their smaller form through the pepsinogen and gastric juices. Once that happens, students, there is a release. It will go into the small intestine. The small intestine is lined, the lumen of the small intestine has chymotrypsinogen and trypsinogen that is created by your pancreas. That chymotrypsinogen and trypsinogen will activate when in contact with the luminal membranes of the kanang small intestine. The trypsin and chymotrypsin will break down the kuan into a dipeptide. That dipeptide is further hydrolyzed and broken down into their component amino acid via the hydrolysis of kanang kuan, via the by the kanang peptidases. Okay, so the peptidase are the one that breaks down the protein into its individual amino acid. So that is why, students, in your nutrition, not all proteins are equal, ha. Did you understand that concept when Doc Phil tells you not all proteins are equal? Okay? So, not only do you need protein in bulk, you also need different types of essential amino acids so that you can function normally. Okay? So, you not only need not all proteins are the same, you need individual types of amino acids. Okay? So, I think you have already covered that in your nutrition. Unlike proteolytic enzyme, pancreatic amylase and lipase are inactive forms when secreted from the pancreas. Okay? Unlike trypsin and chymotrypsin, the amylase are in active form because most of your cells don't have that starch component in their kanang small intestine. So what happens is once amylase is created, it can be created in their active form. All the more reason also for lipases. Okay, they're not that harmful to the cell. That's why they are created in their active form. Okay, Excuse me sa nanon ni hilak ni siya. Students, kanang break sa takadiyot ha. Let's have a short break. I will see you kanang 10:44, okay?